Hello and welcome back to the Cosmic Goddess channel. I'm Fola. I'm super excited to do your weekly energy reading. This is going to be for April 3rd through the 9th. And we made it, guys. We made it to the second quarter. We made it through April to June. My birthday is going to be in May. This is just the best time of the year for me. So, excuse me if I'm a little giddy. But you should be giddy too. The energy is going to start ramping up, and I can't wait. All right, so let's start with our astrology read through. Monday, April 3rd. The moon is going to be in Virgo. Whenever the moon is in Virgo, it gives you that extra energy to really fine tune your details, to make sure that everything is in order and that you're prepared. This moon trining Uranus and Taurus kind of will want to make you prepared for anything, because Uranus is the planet of disruptions, of chaos, but divine chaos, divine disruption. Anything can pop up at any moment and you will be prepared for it. Mercury is also going to enter Taurus. And when it enters Taurus, it's going to square Pluto in Aquarius. When Mercury enters Taurus, everything slows down just a bit. It went from this rapid fire energy in Aries that wants you to create things, it wants you to always be communicating, to always be throwing ideas out there. And then Taurus, Mercury in Taurus wants to refine that energy. So it wants you to think about only the things that make practical sense for you, only the things that you can put into practical use. Now, that square to the Aquarius Pluto wants you to be revolutionary, to only work with those ideas that are new and fresh. Throw out the outdated ideas. Focus on building upon the new ideas that will give you more power in your life. Tuesday, April 4th, this Virgo moon, the moon's been in Virgo for a couple of days now, it's going to trine Venus in Taurus and oppose Neptune in Pisces, which can get tricky, all right? Neptune can give us some illusions. Meanwhile, the Virgo moon wants us to be very direct and clear. So there's that push and pull aspect going on between the moon and Neptune. Neptune wants us to indulge in our fantasies. Meanwhile, the Virgo moon wants us to be practical. So you might find difficulty or frustration with trying to iron out your details today. Then the moon is going to trine Venus in Taurus before it enters Libra, adding even more Venusian energy. It's going to be a Venusian-inspired day. The only thing about that is that you don't want to get lost in the pleasures of your life, okay? You don't want to get greedy and you keep taking and taking and taking, or you spend so much money on things because they're aesthetically pleasing, or blowing all your money on takeout food. It can happen with Venus and Taurus. This day is all about finding the sweet spot, finding the balance between appreciating what you already have and giving yourself the things that you need. With Neptune and Pisces blurring out your edges, you want to make sure that you're not diving into a pool of happiness that you're going to wake up tomorrow and be like, uh-oh, what did I do that for? You want to make sure that you are enjoying the things that you already have, not trying to feed the dragon and incorporate more and more and more pleasures. Wednesday, April 5th, the sun is going to conjunct Chiron in Aries. With Chiron in Aries, we have been feeling and overcoming some wounding when it comes to the self, when it comes to how we show up in the world, when it comes to how we express our needs and desires, our individual needs and desires. Chiron has been trying to teach us that the things that we want and the things that we need are important. Giving ourselves what we want and feeding your own needs is just as important as feeding the collective and feeding the all, being of help and being of service. You cannot, it's like that oxygen mask thing. You have to put on your own oxygen mask first. You cannot thoroughly be of service without being of service to yourself. And so Chiron has been coming in and trying to heal our connection to the self, trying to make sure that we know that our wants and needs are just as important as helping others. And so the sun conjuncting Chiron, it might shine a light on a wound that you've experienced and have been experiencing throughout your life in order to bring in some healing towards that. All right, so it may be a little bit of a tender day on Wednesday. We're exposing the tenderness so that you can come through and put a salve on it, not just put a temporary fix or a band-aid on it, but we're exposing this wound so that you can come in and mother it and be your own healer today. Just know that there may be turmoil in some of the choices that you have to make during this day, but surrender is on the table, and you have an opportunity to give in to your own drive, your own animalistic nature. Thursday, April 6th, today is going to be the day of the Libra full moon. And this full moon is happening smack dab on top of Chiron. So the sun is going to be right on Chiron, and then the moon in Libra will be opposing the sun and Chiron. It's kind of connected to the day that we had previously, especially since this full moon is happening at 12:34. It's very much so Wednesday full moon, Thursday full moon energy. You're going to be feeling this energy throughout both days. It's a day of tremendous healing because not only do we have the sun and the moon working with Chiron, we also have Mercury conjunct the North Node in Taurus. Now, Taurus is all about practical solutions that you can put into use. On the Wednesday before, you may experience some triggers dealing with your self assertion, dealing with how you tend to your own needs. And guess what? This full moon is going to make it a full circle moment with Mercury coming in to conjoin the North Node, telling you this is what you need to be stable and sufficient and comfortable. These are the things that you need to implement into your life. Taurus's energy is of ultimate stability. They call Taurus the stubborn bull, but really this bull is so stable that nothing can break it or tear it out of its energy. And that's what we're looking towards. That's what Mercury and the North Node are going to be communicating to us. What do you need to implement in your life to make you more self-sufficient? And how can that self-sufficiency aid in your dreams and accomplishing the things that you need to do to feed your own ambition? Friday, April 7th, Venus is going to be sextiling Neptune. So Venus in Taurus is all about luxury. It's all about feeling good, smelling nice, being comfy and cozy, being well fed. And it's going to sextile Neptune in Pisces, which wants to bring us closer to our spirituality. It wants us to get comfortable in our own bubble of safety. Now, the moon is opposing in the sister sign of Scorpio, which is very intuitive. It's very psychic energy. It's going to trine Saturn in Pisces, which also was going to bring us closer to our spirituality. So you've got the moon in Scorpio that wants and craves intimate connection, trining Saturn in Pisces, that wants to bring everybody closer together, that wants us to dissolve the boundaries between each individual people and become an all, to become a collective. With Venus in Taurus, that wants us to feel nurtured and supported and stable, sextiling Neptune in Pisces, that once again wants us to dive deep into the pools, into the water of our spirituality. This day is a day of visions. It's a day of daydreaming. It's a day of losing yourself in the waters of your spiritual guidance. And by losing yourself, I truly mean finding yourself, letting go of your need to control and connecting to spirit and listening to the messages that spirit has for you. This watery Friday will be a day of visions for the future. Friday is definitely a day for romance if that's what you're looking for. Saturday, April 8th, Mercury in Taurus is going to sextile Mars in Cancer. Now, Taurus and Cancer energy work so well together because they work off of what has worked prior to? What has been implemented and what has shown results and progress? Through the heart space, though, it works off of nostalgia, but also practical nostalgia. So you may be finding solutions throughout this day that have worked for you in the past and implementing them for your future. It also is a day to really tap in and connect to your spiritual warrior. Mars in Cancer is, even though it's an emotional warrior, she is still a warrior. She will fight on behalf of the children. She will fight on behalf of people's emotional needs. This day is a day to tap into personal empowerment through the heart space, through the home. It's a day to really connect through your ancestry. Maybe even a day to ask for help from the ancestors. Sunday, April 9th, we're going to have a Sagittarius moon, y'all. And a Sag moon is so much fun. It has a lot of activity, a lot of spontaneity comes with the Sag moon. And the Sag moon is going to square Saturn in Pisces. Sag and Pisces are both ruled by Jupiter. And so this day has a tremendous potential for growth and abundance. The Sag moon wants you to tap into your inner adventurer, to tap into, well, I haven't tried this before, but I'm going to go for it now. My intuition, spirit is telling me that I should put myself out there and figure out how things can work for me. This is a day to try everything that you've ever wanted to. Follow your adventurous spirit. All right. And Saturn in Pisces, Saturn usually wants to hold the moon back a little bit, but Saturn in Pisces is still ruled by Jupiter. It is, how can I expand in a way that is helpful and growing? So usually Jupiter can kind of expand in any old way. It can expand areas of your life that don't need to be expanded. It can expand areas of your life that are already fully developed, because it is just the planet of growth and expansion. It expands whatever it touches onto. But with this Saturn in Pisces, it is controlled expansion so that it can bring us to higher revelations. And so if you follow the moon in Sag and let yourself fly free, it will truly be flying free in a controlled direction. So this day, say yes to whatever your heart wants you to say yes to. Try whatever you want to try. Follow your wandering heart into expansion, into mature, pre-planned. Spirit has already planned this out for you. So any turns that you take on this day, know that it is already divinely guided. It's going to provide you an opportunity to take back your power by solidifying what you know and pursuing what you want to lead to more personal freedom. All right, y'all, it is card time. Spirit, ancestors, guides. I'm going to be using the Mermaid Tarot. Spirit, there we go. I'm going to be using the Mermaid Tarot for the week of April 3rd through April 9th. What do we need to know? So I'm going to pull the first card is going to be an overall energy. Second card is going to be an obstacle card. And the third card is going to be wisdom from the ancestors. So now I'm also going to pull an animal spirit oracle card. Where did the animal spirit cards go? I'll have to find my animal spirit oracles because I love them. I'm going to pull an animal spirit oracle card, and then I'm also going to pull a crystal guidance card for the week as well. All right, the spirits, the ancestors, guides. What do we need to know? What will be the overall energy of the week? What obstacles will we face and encounter? And what is your wisdom and your guidance? April 9th for the collective. All right, last one. All right. Ooh, come on, Queen of Wands energy. Yeah, let's bring it closer so you can see. Look at her. Look at all the power she's got at her fingertips. All the fire, the lava flowing. Queen of Wands is our overall energy for the week. Love that for us. And now our obstacle. Ooh, obstacle is the star. So maybe we've been having some woe is me, some pity energy going on. And our obstacle, in order to really step into our Queen of Wands, you have to stop thinking about the past and the things that have harmed us, the things that haven't gone as the way that we wanted them to go, the things that haven't gone as planned, because everything is in divine timing. Everything is a part of the plan, even our pitfalls. You see that little, like this cloud, like the circular cloud, that's what it's trying to tell me, is that even when we feel lost, even when we feel like things aren't going the way that we're supposed to be, or that we want them to be going, look at the star in the middle. We're always being guided toward the North Star, true north, and straight on till morning. I just watched Peter and the Starcatcher, so I'm like in Peter Pan mode. All right. Wisdom from the ancestors. 10 of Wands, release your burdens. 10 of Wands reversed, which is absolutely release those burdens, child. Maybe we're carrying things that are not meant to be carried forward. So the Queen of Wands and why she's so powerful and magnetic. Let's bring this closer. The Queen of Wands can snap her fingers and get what she wants. She doesn't have to do too much work. She doesn't overburden herself with the work that can be delegated to others. She is there to be a light and an inspiration. She is there to be a visionary. Now, granted, it's not that she doesn't have to do any work at all, but she is not the one. She's not the Queen of Pentacles who is getting her hands dirty, digging into the soil, planting her seeds. This Queen of Wands is delegating. This Queen of Wands has a vision and knows exactly what she wants, and she is inspiring others to help create the world around her. And so maybe we're taking on too many things. Maybe we need to follow the North Star and cut out some of the things that aren't for us, because what can happen is we're so busy trying to make all the things work that we overburden ourselves. And instead of having a smooth ride of focusing on one thing and growing that thing, or letting things manifest on their own and in their own timing, we try to force everything through. We want all the things to be thinging at once, and that creates this heavy burden for ourselves, and we think like we're being beat down by our own goals and dreams. Whereas the Queen of Wands lets things go. She puts her ideas and her wants and wishes out into the universe and lets them manifest on their own. She lets them create themselves in their own timing. All they need is water, love, and care from her. All they need is inspiration and simple guidance from her. She says what she wants, and then the things that she wants come to her. So this obstacle of the star, let things come to you. Let the chips fall as they may, and know that they are all falling in divine timing, and they're all working for your greater good. Tell yourself, believe that. I think we should spend a lot of time this week bolstering our own self-worth, because you can't tell the Queen of Wands anything. She knows her self-worth. It's not negotiable. She knows it. But the star, if this is the obstacle, is knowing our self-worth and sticking to it. Shutting down that little voice inside our head that tells us we're not good enough, we're not doing enough, we should be doing this, we should be doing that. Why isn't it working out? Oh no, I wanted this, but I wanted this. Why isn't it working? It's all working. It's always working out for you. So let go of the voices in your head that are telling you it's not enough. Let go of other people's problems. All right? Because that's another thing with the 10 of Wands. It's burdens that do not belong to you. You're overburdening yourself. Let go of the things that are not meant for you and follow your North Star. All right. Time for the animal spirit. I'm going to bring these down so you can see the cards a little bit. There we go. Yes. More clarity. Come on. All right. Let's choose an animal spirit card for the week. Spirit, what do we need to hear for the week of April 3rd through the 9th? What advice do we need to hear? Hold on. Okay, so a couple of cards came out. I guess I'll just let you see them all. So I got Antelope Spirit. Life is speeding up. Yeah, that gives me Queen of Wands energy. Bobcat Spirit. Life is a mystery. Maybe these are lining up with the cards. And then Dolphin Spirit. This and that are true. This is interesting. So what I'm hearing from these three cards, and I will figure out which one is the top card that needs to be really appreciated and maybe read. But with the three messages that I'm getting, it's going to be a mixed bag this week. The goal is, or the obstacle is to make sure that even through the not so great parts of the week, that you are holding on to this star energy, that you know that everything is shaking out for your best interests. Even, and this is the hard part, is telling ourselves, even when bad things, or the things that, not necessarily bad, I'm trying to get away from saying good and bad, but when things are difficult, that difficulty will still bring us to a newer, better version of ourselves. The turmoil that we face is always working out in our highest good. There's going to be a lot of things thrown at us this week. Life is speeding up. You may get some stuff that you're like, where did this come from? Oh, I mean, life is just lifing this week. Gotcha. And it's going to be a mixed bag. Yeah, like the last two is like, it's going to be a mixed bag. This thing and that thing are going to be happening at the same time. And we're going to have to deal with it at the same time. The good, the bad, and the ugly. But holding on to hope. All right, now let's see which message do you want me to read? Spirit. Ooh, this one popped out. Let's do this. This and that are true. Like her earthly manifestation, dolphin spirit is a reminder of duality. As the dolphin is both mammal and sea creature, so too is dolphin spirit, both this and that. Two truths coexist, the story you tell and another as well. The duality of life is present when we are suffering, for there is a blessing too in the helpers that appear. Within clouds are silver linings. When we later reflect on what happened, we can see that a situation was both this and that, and a choice led to both joy and sorrow. No relationship is either all good or all bad, and people have qualities of both light and shadow. Ooh, okay. So I want to pause because this is giving like very much so Libra full moon energy. So part of the full moon in Libra is having that sun in Aries and the moon in Libra, and it's like a push and pull between the self and others. The self and others. Which one do I go towards? Do I satisfy myself? Do I satiate others? Which one is right? Because honestly, the world conditions us to be not codependent, but it conditions us to compromise constantly. Every single day, we are compromising for the benefit of the all, for the benefit of others. And throughout this new infusion of Aries energy that we're going to be getting in the next like 5 years, it's going to really ramp up. That choice between, do I satiate and satisfy myself? Do I compromise for the all? These choices are going to get harder and harder and harder to choose between, because it wants us to push towards really making sure that we are self sufficient and self satisfied so that we can then go out and help others. But right now, it's so polarized. It's one or the other. And we're working to find the balance in between so that we do both. We can do both to the best of our abilities instead of leaving ourselves hanging, or, leaving the collective high and dry as well. All right, let's get back into this. Focus on the positive, for light exists alongside the darkness. Dolphin Spirit calls for you to come up from below and enjoy a weightless moment in the sun as you dive in and out of this and then that, accepting and even enjoying the duality of life. Why not join Dolphin Spirit in acknowledging and affirming the blessings present in this moment? In all areas of your life, there are both aspects of this and that. Today, you can celebrate this fact and recognize the complexity and the beauty of the fabric of the universe. You are at a place right now where your past self is still present as you move toward the new self you are becoming. I'm going to say that again because this is where we all are. And this is what this Libra full moon is going to be lighting up. Right now, we are in a place where our past self is still present as we move toward the new self we are becoming. It's the duality of it all. It is okay to still be a work in progress while you are progressing towards your new self. Do not wallow in the sorrow of the parts of you that are still yet to shed off. It is okay to love both this and that, to be both things at once, because you're a human being. A lot of the times, especially when we're transitioning, when we know that this is the better self that we are trying to become, that we want to be, we start to shame ourselves for the parts of us that haven't evolved yet. And it's not for us to shame. It is for us to continue to keep looking toward this guiding light, to know that the version of ourselves that we are looking towards, we will be that whole version eventually. But it takes time. It takes time to slough off the parts of ourselves that we are used to, the parts that create comfort in our world. It's hard to just rip yourself out of who you are completely. So most of us don't do that. And while we are in the transitioning period, you must love both sides of you. You must create a safe space for the darkness and the light, for the part of you that you are trying to change and the part of you that's already there. Aspects of both selves are present. So even if you want to say goodbye to what was, you are required to find solace in the in between time. Today is not the day to choose one over another either, but rather to accept things as they are without judgment or resistance. Even in matters of the heart, duality is present. Your next action will be obvious when you drop your bias and see things as a whole. Mm. I'm going to read this protection message too. When you want to be acknowledged as right and see other ways as wrong, Dolphin Spirit appears as a reminder that the story of your suffering and righteousness is a little more complicated than you are admitting right now. Do you want to see things in black and white and be rigid in your ideas of what's correct and what is not? Release your rigidity and embrace the fluidity of life as you recognize the grays that remind you that there are two sides of every story, an upside to each downside, and a blessing in every challenge. What you think is wrong may end up being right for you. So let Dolphin Spirit soften your heart so that you make the best decision at this time, playing with the possibilities that present themselves. All right, let's do this. Last card. Angels, spirits, guides. What crystals are we working with this week? What crystals does the collective need to work with this week? What crystals does the collective need to work with this week? Ooh. All right. Bloodstone came out first. Get up, get moving. Queen of Wands energy. Start doing the thing. Then we got Sodalite, which is speak your truth. Yeah, Sodalite helps us to really be honest, even with ourselves. There we go. Boom. And then we have Tourmalated Quartz. Get out of your own way. I think we got Tourmalated Quartz last week too. Yeah, this really helps. A lot of the times, especially if the obstacle is the star and the wisdom is to drop your burdens, get out of your own way. Okay, I would say carry Tourmalated Quartz in your pocket throughout this week because the changes are going to be happening. But are you going to be nice to yourself while these changes are happening? Are you going to let the changes happen without resisting? All right, I think that's it. Take some bloodstone with you. Get some Tourmalated Quartz and some Sodalite. Release your burdens. Follow your heart. Forgive yourself and accept your transition as it happens, at the speed that it's happening. Much love and appreciation. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And have a good week until next time. Bye. Bye now.